Hi everyone, my name is Lena. I'm an environmental educator over at ecomaine. Today I'm going to be walking through how to do an at-home waste audit. So we have our bag of trash, we have a reusable bag, some tongs, a scale that would normally be used for a suitcase. So it has a little hook on the end here. We also have some gloves, and then we have our tarp laid out. So on our tarp, each corner is a different category. So we have our landfill category over here, which is going to be thrown back into the trash bag at the end. We have reuse and or donate. We have recycle for our metal, glass, plastics, paper, and cardboard. And then we have compost for food waste and napkins and paper towels and things like that. So we're going to get started over here by weighing our trash bag. So to start off, our trash bag weighs 5 pounds and 3/4. Toss that over here, and then I'm going to take this trash bag and dump it out onto the tarp. Alright, so we're going to grab our glove and or a pair of tongs. I wouldn't recommend using tongs you're going to then use again for food, but if you feel comfortable giving them a really good wash and then reusing them again, that's totally cool. So to start off here, we have this piece of plastic. Because this is not a container, and because it doesn't have the triangle with number 1 through 7 on it, it's not recyclable. So that's going to go back into the landfill pile. We also have a clock here, which after a wipe off could be reused once you just refill the batteries. It's got a nick in it over here, but I think that can go back into the reuse or donate pile, especially because you can take off this plastic rim. Got some broken glass, which is definitely going to go back into the landfill pile so we don't hurt any of our friends over at the recycling plant. We have a plastic container going into the landfill. Then let me go through right here. We're going to take all of these paper towels and throw them in the compost pile. So all of these paper towels can go into your industrial compost. They can also go into your at-home backyard compost if you're able to mix them in enough with other materials. So if you have tons and tons of paper towels that you're using all the time, it wouldn't be enough to actually degrade it fast enough. So you want to make sure that you have enough of other material that's not paper towels if you're throwing them in your backyard compost. I can also tell you that I bet a lot of these paper towels could be reused. I think a lot of them are used just to wipe off the counter really quick and could have been used once or twice more to kind of reduce the amount that we have here. And this bread bag can also be recycled with your plastic film recycling at the grocery store. So I'm not going to throw it into the recycling pile. I'm going to throw it back here behind the recycling and kind of put the box on top of it here so it doesn't blow away. But in Maine, your grocery stores are required to take back plastic films if they give them out. So stores like Hannaford, Walmart, Lowe's are all required to recycle plastic bags like the bags that they give out at the store, and also your bread bags. So those can be brought back to the store. That one will go into the trash. You grab a few more of these paper towels. This right here is a bigger plastic bag, like a very large one, that was used to wrap something that came in a box. So this I'm actually going to put in the reuse pile because it actually has a zipper on the top too, which would be great for storing like blankets or something else in it. And this too is going to go in the reuse pile. It's filled with matches, which I'm sure are still good, and is a Ziploc bag that could be reused for other things that are not food, because it is a little grimy. But when your Ziploc bags are done, either they break open or they get really gross, if you're able to clean them out, they can be recycled with your plastic film. So not into your regular recycling bin, but back to your grocery store. This is another piece of plastic, but it's a different kind of plastic that cannot be recycled. And then we have some frozen vegetable bags. These cannot be recycled, so those are going to go in the landfill pile. These yogurt cups can also be recycled. And then we also have some styrofoam. So this has a recycling symbol on it, but it is not recyclable here at ecomaine. And it usually, almost pretty much throughout the entire country, is not recyclable. So that's going to go into the landfill pile, as will this piece of plastic. This is a soap dispenser. Nice ceramic one that, once it's cleaned off a little bit, can also be reused. Covering up the reuse sign here. All right. So we have some butter wrappers here as well. So you have butter wrappers you have to check on. Those can be composted in industrial compost sometimes. It depends on who takes your industrial compost. So if you put your compost out on your curbside with your trash, you want to check with who takes them. I'm pretty sure Garbage to Garden will take butter wrappers. They are a wax paper though, so it depends on the process they use to make the compost. So those can sometimes go in the compost. Otherwise, they can be reused. I actually reuse my butter wrappers to grease pans when I'm baking. So those could also go in the reuse pile, of course, if they had not already been thrown in the trash. But for now, I'm going to throw them in the landfill because I don't have Garbage to Garden. We have a few more food wrappers right here. Yes. And then, let's see, I'm trying to get all the food wrappers here and throw those into the landfill pile. We also have some more broken glass and an old pen. This pen looks like it still has ink in it, so I'm going to say throw it into the reuse or donate pile. And then this is an old light bulb. Because this probably has some gnarly stuff in it, I am going to throw this into a separate pile so that it can be brought back to the store or a place that has light bulb collection containers, just to make sure. And then I'm not really sure what that is, but it looks like it's plastic. This is kind of funny. So we have a McDonald's Happy Meal toy that's still in the wrapper, so totally good to reuse or donate as long as you take it out of the wrapper. It's still in great shape. I'm pretty sure that was from when I was a kid, but that's all right. So we're gonna go through here and get the last of the food wrappers. Got a Post-it note, and then the silica container, little packages that come into things like bags and such to keep moisture down. A few receipts that aren't big enough to be recycled with paper. And then the rest of what we have here, so we obviously have a ton of pasta. We have tea bags, butter, eggshells, a few more paper towels and napkins, a miscellaneous piece of plastic that can go over in the landfill pile. The rest of this stuff, other than this beer cap, and this bread tie, ooh, and this one too, can all go into the compost. So as soon as let me just grab, there's a plastic and then a wrapper of candy. So the rest of this stuff, I'm just gonna scoop it all up, grab my other glove here, and scoop it all up and put it into the compost pile. So if we were to have any meat or usually dairy and butter, you wouldn't necessarily want to put those in your backyard compost, but you could put those into an industrial composting process. So I use industrial compost, so I'm able to put all of those things into my compost pile. But if you backyard compost, you're going to want to check to make sure that that's all right, depending on what kind of composting you do. gonna go through and start weighing our different sections. So I'm gonna start with compost. So this container I weighed out is 2 pounds. So we're gonna put this in our bag here, straight up so it doesn't get all our compost into the bag. You can use a bigger bag if you need to, or you can also use a kitchen scale to weigh these. Just make sure that you tear everything out beforehand so you don't you don't add into the weight on accident. So once this is onto my bag here, so this weighs 2.66 pounds. So without the container, it's 0.66 pounds. So 2/3 of a pound. The recycle, I am just gonna throw our little pieces of recycle here into the bag. We're pretty good at recycling, so there wasn't much in that category. So our recycling weighs 0.2 pounds. And then our reuse pile, I think, is gonna weigh quite a bit because we had quite a few things in there. So I'm just gonna load all of this stuff into our bag here. All right, so our reuse pile is 2.4 pounds. So now we're gonna go over and weigh our landfill pile. And that will be our last one to weigh. We're gonna nestle the box right in here. Landfill pile starting out, so had I thrown that bag in the trash originally, it would have been 5.6 pounds, I believe, 5 3/4 actually. And then what now is going to go into the landfill is 0.3 pounds. So that's pretty awesome. You go from 5 1/4 pounds to 1/3 of a pound. That's pretty good, I think. So we'd love to see our ecomaniac friends start to do at-home waste audits. A really great way to look at what you're actually putting into the trash and what you're recycling, and also allows you to question what you're recycling or what you're putting into the trash to make sure you're putting them into the right category. So it's a really fun activity as long as you don't mind getting down and dirty with your trash. So if you do an at-home waste audit and you want to share it with us, feel free to do that. And also, if you go through and you have any questions about what's recyclable, what you can donate, what you can compost, etc., please feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to answer your questions and hear about your experiences. So have a great day, everyone.